Hello YouTube, Salivate Metal here. You know the old saying, the luck of the Irish? Well, it dates back quite some time ago, going back to 2200 BC. It's displayed in the National Museum of Ireland. Lanulay and Sun Disc Bishop golden crociers, twisted torques, and embossed details of unprecedented skill. Perhaps it was those millennia of experience that in 1873 led four Irishmen, Mackay, Fair, Flood, and O'Brien, to the Comstock lode, the greatest pot of gold and silver the world has ever known. They located an enormous silver heart within Mount Davidson in Nevada. And so this article here is how four Irishmen found the largest pot of silver ever known in Nevada. And thanks again to Small Gold for this article. Quite interesting indeed. The first to put around above the Great Trove were a couple of surface gold miners named Peter O'Reilly and Patrick McLaughlin. These men did not know nor have the resources to mine down thousands of feet to the silver. They panned for gold and moved on, not realizing that a blue sand that clogged their simple wooden machinery was in fact silver mixed with gold. Assayed later in 1859 by other men, the sand proved to be almost a solid mass of silver, and the silver rush was on. Eventually, it took stockholders, powerful machinery, new mining techniques, and millions of dollars to penetrate the pile and extract billions in silver and gold. Chief among those who pioneered and benefited from the lode were the four Irishmen. John W. Mackay. First and foremost comes John W. Mackay, or actually pronounced Mackey. So John W. Mackey, thank you for this article so I can get it right. Born in Dublin in 1831, he came to New York with his family 9 years later. His father died shortly thereafter, and John left school and went to work to support his mother and younger sister. At age 16, he was apprenticed to a shipwright, a maker of side-wheel steamers, and became skilled in the use of tools. And so here we see a picture of John W. Mackey. In 1851, Mackey came to California and worked in placer gold mines in Sierra County. With the discovery of silver on the Comstock lode, he went to Nevada, hiring out there to work as a $4 a day miner. From this, he graduated to providing mine timbers, running tunnels, sometimes being paid in mining stock, becoming a trustworthy mine superintendent, and then mine owner himself. In 1867, in Virginia City, Nevada, Mackey met fellow Irishman and mine superintendent James Fair. Fair was born in Clonard, County Tyrone, also in 1831. In the early 40s, his parents brought him to America, and at 16, his father wanted him to study law. Instead, he ran off to Chicago and found work in a machine shop. 2 years later, he joined the rush to California. He was known for his native shrewdness, was a stocky, powerfully built youth with dark skin and eyes, curly black hair, and handsome features, a typical black Irishman. In the foothills gold camps at Feather River, he applied himself to learning the simple techniques of placer mining, keeping his eyes and ears open and his purse strings drawn tight. Like Mackey, he loved the life, the hard work, and gambling instincts. After 10 years of work in California, he owned mines and mills. He did not rush towards the silver in Nevada, but in 1865, ambled over there. Becoming the superintendent of many Nevada properties, Fair uses extensive technical training and managerial experience to operate properties efficiently with little extravagance or waste. He recognized the potential of the Ophir mine in the Comstock, and he convinced the other three Irishmen to invest in it with him. By late summer 1872, when their stockholders had about had it with the assessments for further exploration, Fair noticed a knife-thin vein of ore in the mine. It began to widen. In 4 weeks, it was 12 feet wide and rich. So Flood and O'Brien, the other two Irishmen of the Bonanza firm, were former saloon keepers turned stockbrokers who had teamed up in San Francisco in 1856. James C. Flood was born in 1826 on Staten Island to Irish immigrant parents. With an 8th grade education, he was apprenticed to a carriage maker. In 1849, he sailed for San Francisco in the gold rush, practicing the trade of carpenter as well as surface mining for gold. The quietest of the fabulous four, William Shoney O'Brien, born in the town of Abbey Lakes County, Laos, was brought to New York as a child. He worked as a clerk in a grocery store, and in 1849, at 23 years of age, O'Brien arrived penniless and ragged in San Francisco. He found work uploading ships in the harbor. Before long, he owned his own marine supplies, newspapers, and tobacco store there. In 1857, he and Mr. Flood opened up the Auction Lunch Saloon in Washington Street in San Francisco. The quality of their free lunch, their geniality, and fair prices made them popular. When in 1862 the San Francisco Stock and Exchange Board opened its doors nearby, stockbrokers favored the auction lunch and gave trading tips to the personable proprietors and thus became rich. They gave up the saloon and became full-time stockbrokers themselves. So it was with that when two mining superintendents, Mackey and Fair, with their noses for underground treasure, working in vast cathedral-like spaces underground since in 1868, that they were approaching a great strike, they teamed up with the two San Francisco Irishmen to quietly buy up all the stock of the mines, which they felt would lead down, far down to the Bonanza. Their instincts were accurate. The mighty machinery, mills, elevators, miles of woven steel cable on which cages were raised and lowered at express train speed, I might add, at vertical shifts more than half a mile deep, drills and picks and shovels by the gross needed to extract ore at such unprecedented depths were manufactured in San Francisco at the Union Iron Works of immigrants Peter James and Michael Donahue. The Comstock Four stuck together as a team for many years, even in 1875 opening the Nevada Bank, which during the height of the silver boom became for a time the largest bank in the United States, and which in 1905 merged with another bank to form Wells Fargo. Very interesting indeed. So there's a bit of history for you from the four Irishmen, and that became very rich in their silver exploits, finding the largest pot of silver ever known in Nevada, cornering that market and taking it all in. It's a very fascinating story indeed, and a little history there for us. And so I hope you enjoyed this article. I'd like to extend the multitude of gratitude y'all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.